Hi everyone, I'm Becca Jane Stevenson, the OCD Warrior Transformation Mentor and creator of the OCD Warriors Way membership community. So today's video I wanted to talk about how media, the things that we watch and the things that we read or see can really play a part in how it influences intrusive thoughts and OCD. How watching media or listening to it can actually create and generate a new flavour of intrusive thoughts. If any of you have purchased a copy of my book, What If, by Becca Jane Stevenson, it is on Amazon, you will know that several years ago OCD for me was triggered at Christmas, and I wanted to use that as the example here. So as I sat on the sofa with my son at the time, he would have been, so we're talking six years ago. So he would have been 6 years old when this first crept in for me. I had put Harry Potter on the TV because both me and my son are absolute Harry Potter geeks. We're Harry Potter nerds. And we love it. We're proud of that. And every Christmas for at least the last 10-15 years, Harry Potter has been on the TV. So I decided I felt a bit rubbish, I'd had a cold, I was really tired, it'd been a really fun-filled day. It's kind of, when it gets to the end of Christmas Day, kind of drained. So I wanted to chill out. We laid on the sofa and we put Harry Potter on. And within a flash, a visual intrusive thought had popped up. A harm, violent, based intrusive thought where I could picture my family and my partner, where I'd caused some catastrophic injuries. I could see blood. I didn't picture me actually doing it or being in the act. I was able to picture, the OCD was picturing the aftermath of that, and that because I was thinking it, that must have meant that I was capable, that it was me that could do that because I could think it. Obviously at the time I didn't know what it was, why I'd had that thought, and I really thought I was going to go insane. It was a very, very scary time for me. That entire year was very, very difficult leading on from that until I got my official diagnosis. But I wanted to explore, years later, once I was steadily working towards remission, I wanted to explore what it was that had actually triggered, what event had triggered off that intrusive thought. Because although the intrusive thoughts and the fears that we have are typically linked to a traumatic experience or childhood trauma, the actual triggering event itself may not be. So I had been previously watching, in the run up to Christmas, a TV program called Criminal Minds, and for years I have had a interest in the macabre, cold cases, psychological cases, real life documentaries. I find it fascinating, but I came to the conclusion that if I found it fascinating and I enjoyed reading that stuff, then that must make me one of, these psychopaths that are in these storybooks. No, it doesn't. We can have a fascination and a curiosity about anything. So back to that Christmas, in the run up to Christmas, I'd been watching a TV show called Criminal Minds, and it was very, very graphic. They did not spare any details at all. And I've been binge watching this stuff. So actually, I could sit there and think, no wonder the intrusive thoughts were so creative. No wonder they were so imaginative, because I've been viewing that stuff on the TV. I've been, it's there. So then that then led into the rumination. But I've seen it on the TV. People do that. So that must mean I want to, because I thought it. No, it's because those images and those depictions and the descriptions and what we've seen sticks in the mind. It kind of almost like it goes into a memory bank at the back of your mind. So then when we have another experience that may connect with it, even in the smallest, tiniest little bit, it'll throw it back up. and it'll be creative, because then it will link to an internal fear that you have that does come from your childhood or from a traumatic experience. Can you see how that works? So when then I was watching programs and documentaries or movies where somebody had taken their own life, oh my God, I had that idea then that I could. Oh my God, that means I'm suicidal. What if? What if, what if, what if? And I couldn't work it out. But actually, what the OCD does is it takes the things that we're viewing through the media, the stuff we're reading, the stuff we're listening to and watching, and it tries to somehow squeeze us into that narrative. So if I read an article once on Robin Williams, an amazing, amazing actor, and this world is really at a loss for him no longer being here anymore. He was one of the greats, a really inspiring man. And I'd read an article of his, and whilst I was in the throes of self-harm OCD and believing that I was suicidal, I actually thought, oh my gosh, I'm just like Robin Williams. And the OCD was trying to fit me in to Robin Williams' story. Yeah, Robin, you feel that because Robin Williams did. That's what he felt. And now that's what you're feeling. And it's almost like the OCD will try to, it's like, have you ever done a jigsaw where you've tried to put a piece into the hole and it doesn't actually fit and we're there trying to force it in? That's what imagine that's what OCD does. If OCD was a jigsaw and you were the puzzle piece and the OCD is one space and your puzzle piece doesn't match it, the OCD will keep trying to bash that puzzle piece to fit in that hole, but it doesn't work. Someone else's experience, something you see on the TV, is one experience. We are separate from that. But yes, the media can influence how creative those thoughts can get. That does not mean that we should avoid watching those. If we enjoy them, we can enjoy them. They're there. That's what they're created for. If we weren't supposed to enjoy stuff like this, then it would not be produced. Horror films would not be produced. Psychological thrillers like Saw or Hostel, some of the awful, disturbing, grotesque movies and programs, they would not be produced if those directors didn't think that there was a market out there for them. People enjoy consuming that stuff. They have a curiosity, and it's fine. We can have a curiosity about that stuff, and it still doesn't make us a killer. It still doesn't make us, capable of causing harm, capable of doing all these heinous things just because we watch it. That's like saying, if somebody owns a gun in America, they're allowed, it's legal. Here in the UK it's not. But somebody in America owns a gun, a firearm, it's legal. Does that automatically make them a killer because they own a gun? No. Because we own kitchen knives for preparing food, because we own one, does that make me a killer? No. We have to look at what OCD is doing when it's trying to jam us in that wrong hole, in that wrong space. That's what it does. Just because there is something on the TV, it does not mean it's about you. That's what the OCD is trying to do. And it almost does a very, very good job in having us believing that. And then when the thoughts do come up, we fight against it because no, that doesn't mean anything. That's not me. That's not who I am. But it's too late. OCD is already latched on. And this is why we shouldn't avoid watching those programs. We can still consume them. I've recently been watching The Fall on Netflix. And that's had me really curious. And in some parts has triggered some intrusive thoughts. But I know what they are. I know where they're coming from. And it's okay. It's okay to think things. It doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. It just means your brain is very creative and it's soaking up everything that you're viewing and it's influencing your thoughts. So, hope it was helpful. If anybody does ever have any questions, you can find me directly on Facebook, Becky Jane Stevenson, or you can find the page, The OCD Warrior. And either send a message or drop a suggestion. If there's something in particular you would like me to do a video on, you can drop those suggestions in. Hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to bringing you the next video.